Dirk Neckert, after you had meeting with EDF Energy and Frecado, with maybe Safety Authority, and this afternoon with Areva, Gendarmerie.
So, thank you for this meeting. So, do you have a questionnaire we sent to?
No.
So, this.
Okay.
Okay. We are in Japan. We are facing that the criticism that nuclear power plant construction cost is very expensive right now. So it's not a competitive generating system. So we want to know how the cost is rising, and is it suitable for the Japanese situation? So then on that questionnaire, we think that there are 5 factors for the rise of construction costs. First is construction delay due to regulation, and second is design change due to change in regulation, and third is personal account reason, and fourth, declining of technology due to the loss of new construction experience. And by contract form, for example, Toshiba and Westinghouse in United States, they have a contract form trouble. That made cost rise.
Yeah.
So
yes, it was the case in Finland for as well.
Especially, we want to know the situation after the Fukushima accident in France and Europe, and for the construction, the new nuclear power plant. So the first question is, how has delay of examination process occurred since Fukushima accident in 2011? So it's so that the delay result from the Fukushima accident, I mean, not caused by the Fukushima accident, or it is because of the Fukushima accident.
So first, regarding the factor that you identify, which can be the main factor explaining cost overrun for a nuclear project, we have somehow the same assessment. It's mainly for changing regulation and impact on the design. It was actually what we faced on Flamanville. Some of the cost overrun related to Flamanville, not all, but some of the cost, maybe a third of the cost overrun was related to the interpretation of the regulation. We didn't change the regulation, but the interpretation of the regulation made by the safety authority changed. So we had to adapt our position, and Areva also had to adapt, and we have to redo some study, some demonstration. Change the regulation is a very key factor. First of a kind, it's clearly a risk factor. I don't know if it's lead to cost overrun. It depends what is your costing at the beginning of the project. If you underestimate the costing, for sure you will have some cost overrun related to the first of a kind nature of the project. But this is a factor for the financing and bankability of the project, clearly, and it was one of the issues for HPC when we discussed with IUK. I don't know if you discussed that with Frecado, but when we discussed with IUK, one of the main issues for IUK, Infrastructure UK, was the fact that there were no EPR in operation. And the reference plant of HPC was Flamanville, but we made the GDA process in UK, and we changed the design of Flamanville for the bouquet. So the HPC can be considered somehow as a UK first of a kind. So it is more related to the bankability of the project than cost overrun in itself. It depends the costing at the beginning. Technology due to loss of new construction experience. Yes, it is more general. It is lack of skills and experience in your supply chain, how you organize your supply chain, and to make sure that the people have the quality and the resources. And the contract form, yes, you have different type of contracting model. Pure EPC with lump sum like Westinghouse in US or Areva in Finland, and it can secure the customer to have a lump sum, but usually it leads to huge dispute between the customer and the supplier, or you have other contracting mode, which can be a mix of different commercial model with some element in lump sum and some element in target. For example, what is not totally under the control of a supplier or EPC contractor, design activity, engineering activity, which may be affected by the regulation, as you mentioned, or by the safety authority. In this case, the supplier will try to put that more on the target mode with pen and gain and incentive mechanism. And what is totally, I will say, under its control, manufacturing of equipment, its core business, it will accept the risk to have lump sum for that and to have a reasonable level of contingency. So we have somehow the same identification of the factor. You can also, more generally, also identify the regulatory framework more generally, not only chain and regulation. But it is not for the supplier, it is more for the customer. Regulatory framework, how to secure the revenue, how to make sure that there will not be change in the revenue mechanism, and so on, and also the decommissioning and dismantling. So, as delay of examination process occurs since Fukushima, not delay, but it complexified the process for sure. And most of the safety authority had a new requirement post Fukushima that project under construction such as Flamanville or project in development such as HPC have to integrate it. So it leads to additional cost compared to the initial business model and business case, for sure. And yes, it results directly or indirectly from the Fukushima accident and the new requirement of the safety authority imposed to the EPC and to the operator.
In the HP case, it's not true, right? Because yesterday we met EDF Energy, and they said the reason of delay was not because of the Fukushima accident.
No, it is what I explained. For HPC, it was different because when Fukushima occurred, we were in the development phase, so it didn't affect the timeline for the licensing. It was already integrated during the licensing period, but it led to adjustment to the business case because we had to integrate new requirement for the ONR. For Flamanville, it complexified the process because we were under the construction. So at the same time, we were managing the construction with the safety authority, and the safety authority had additional requirement, but not only to Flamanville, to the fleet, to the French fleet. So we had to integrate in our project the new requirement of the safety authority, which relate to Fukushima. So it didn't delay the licensing process by itself. It may complexify the management of the project for Flamanville because when at the same time we we were on the construction. We have to integrate that and to discuss with the safety authority, but at the fleet level, new requirement. And for HPC, it was more smooth because we were at such time during the licensing process, and only early work agreement with some supplier for design activity and for so no much delay, I would say, but it may complexify the process.
See, so yesterday we hear that HPC project cost is 18 billion pounds.
Globally, yes.
And
Not the EPC, the total.
total.
Yeah.
And that is including the operating costs or just on construction costs?
18 billion should be overnight with owner cost and
Overnight.
contingency. Operating cost and fuel, maybe you have the first reload for the fuel, but operating cost, I'm not sure it is integrated. Basically, the business case of HPC, we have the budget, the construction budget, and after that we secure the revenue with the contract for difference and the strike price. I don't know if it was explained by Humphrey yesterday. And the contract for difference can be adjusted only during the operation for certain conditions, changing law affecting the operation or the cost of the operation, if it is discriminatory change law, and so on. But the construction risk remains to the owner. So as far as I remember, for this budget, it is more overnight cost plus first reload. Don't have all the remaining. But I can check if you want. Do you want me to check?
Yes, because yesterday the staff in the EDF Energy said the 80 billion pounds contains operation cost. So we are surprised because in Japan it is said that the cost of HPC is so high. So it's clear that the Japanese cost of nuclear power plant also raise. So to hear that the cost of the 80 billion pounds include operation cost, when we hear that, we think it's not really the case that the real cost of HPC is not so high. So we want to check it about.
I will check. You have at least the overnight cost, so EPC plus labor, material, plus owner cost and contingency. You should have the financing cost as well, interest and escalation during the period. For operating cost, pretty sure that we have the reload because the contract was already passed at FEED. The first core and 10 subsequent reload, but I will check for the operating cost.
So the Flamanville and Okyoto, the project cost is the same situation. Or, I mean, it contains just only overnight cost. So
today the budget of Flamanville what present is overnight cost plus financing, but it is indirect. It is finance by equity. Okyoto, I don't know because EDF is not involved in Okyoto. What Areva will present will be the construction cost, the cost of the EPC contract, so which include its contingency. I'm not sure that by definition the EPC will not include the owner cost. But for Flamanville, what we present today in our communication will have to the construction cost. Plus owner cost, because we are the owner as well. Contingency for the construction. Does not include the operation. But the structure is totally different. In Finland, you have a specific scheme, Mankala scheme, with a lot